Welcome to the Warp Zone.
Hi, my name is Jack.
And my name is Allizé. Today we have a great lineup. We'll be talking about some trailers, some gossip, some movies, and some gaming contests.
And coming up later, we have our very first guest as we talk about Fallout. Once again, welcome to our podcast and thanks for joining us. Let's say, let me ask you something. What do you spend on money for, like during the week? Like, how do you spend your money? Not talking about like grocery or pay your bills, just for your own pleasure. Where do you spend your money on?
I'd say on cold drink. I think I like to snack. Like I only get time for one big meal, so I just snack whenever.
Nice. Well, for me, right, I normally go to restaurants because I want to get out of the house. So me and my partner would go out to restaurant. It's not because like mainly not because like we like to eat in a restaurant, but it's just time to go out, take out like McDonald's and Burger Kings. Like there's some guilty pleasure. So I would spend money on that. But I think beside that, I also like to spend money on games and Funko Pops and stuff like that.
Oh my goodness, how many Funko Pops do you have?
That's a, that's a very good question. Look, I recently moved to another place. So when we moved out to my previous house, we pack everything and stuff. And I pack all the Funko Pops and I got a lot of boxes, right? So one of our friends come help to pack stuff and he looked at the Funko Pops and he do the math and say if you sell every Funko Pops in a normal price, because some of the Funko Pops you actually can sell more, but he just calculated by for each of them just selling at the normal price, we can actually buy a house for for the amount of Funko Pops I have.
No, Jackie, go get a house.
I know. Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I love my Funko Pops.
No, go get a house.
That's why I'm still poor and not leaving a house.
You're hoarding Funko Pops, my guy.
I'm, I'm not smart on my money, isn't it? I know. I have a problem. But that's the problem about nowadays, like what people spend on. I saw a report from it's actually from Cash App. They talk about 53% of Gen Z respondents said they have spent beyond their means. So 79% of them are kicking themselves for over and over spending during last summer extravagance. Because now they need to tighten up their spending for this year. And what are they spending on is on restaurants, for bar tab. They go to bars and drinks a lot, I guess. Many struggling with social implication of many management. And 39% they said are spent on restaurant and bars tabs the most. And they also said 25% saying that paying in actual cash caused some kind of negative emotion, ranging from a cringe, sadness, and confusion or ache. Personally, I don't have problem if I need to pay cash, and I personally prefer to pay cash because of you know what you're spending, you know how much you're spending instead of credit card you're spending future money.
Look, I hear you, and you know what? You're probably right, but I prefer not to carry cash whatsoever, cause you can get robbed. You can get robbed by a cop. Just someone asking you for $10, someone lend you cash, someone sees you got cash, and then they're like, "Hey man, I just need a grandpa 5 rand." I'm like, "What?
Yeah.
My 5 rand? Are you being stupid?" Now I'm the rude guy, all because I decided to carry cash.
That's the thing about the difference between living in South Africa and living in Hong Kong, where I originally from. Because, I mean, I need to admit, I touch wood. I never get robbed. Well, I did when I was young, but that was a long time ago. Because of some kid tried to rob me. But other than that, I never really get robbed after I become an adult. It's more like a safer environment. So people carrying cash in Hong Kong. It's different than here. I know the society and the safety is different. So I guess that's affected um, how do we pay for stuff. Like, in Hong Kong, like it's a safer environment. So I carry cash, and then when we go to a restaurant, most of my friends will pay in cash as well. The other thing is the environment also affected how you spend money. For example, our house in Hong Kong is really small, right? I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of housing in Hong Kong is so expensive, but the space is so small. So it affected how you spend money. For example, I don't have a lot of space in Hong Kong. I wouldn't be able to buy Funko Pops and collect Funko Pops because it requires space. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't spend money on Funko Pops because I don't have space. And I would prefer spend money on in restaurant or go to have drinks and stuff like that. So the different the environment also affected how you spend as well.
I hear you. I hear you.
And here, as I said, we stuck in the house, we want to get out, so we spend money on restaurant more than other things. So yeah, but it also affected how you live as a person, like depression and stuff like that.
What kind of restaurants would you frequent in Hong Kong versus like while you're staying here?
Depends on the income as well. So in Hong Kong, I have a decent job, so I would go to like Western restaurant because the environment is better. But in Hong Kong, I don't know in South Africa, but in Hong Kong, when I work at the office, mostly people will prefer go out during lunchtime and we go to a restaurant and spend money for food in restaurant instead of bringing food to the office and microwave your lunchbox or something. How do people spend in South Africa?
Obviously, it's gonna be different to each person, but I think South Africans do like a good time. So that could be, going out, going away. Whenever there are festivals, they're usually quite packed. Whenever there's an event, it's usually quite packed. Um, Geez. But we're also like it's a very religious country, and like there's a lot of churches, a lot of different types of religions. So a lot of people like probably spend a lot towards that. I guess I would hope.
I want to ask you, remember the old saying that money can buy you happiness? I call it bullshit. No money will actually give you anxiety and depression. That's how I feel.
Oh my God.
Okay, entertainment news. What happened in this week is obviously it is the 2024 Paris Olympics opening ceremony. So it's just happened on Friday with the opening, and there's a lot of going on during the event. And before we get into the main events, there are the infamous anti-sex bed in the Olympics village were rumored to be strong enough to withstand sexual activity. Have you heard about the anti-sex bed?
Yeah, I kind of heard about it.
So, Tom Daly, the British diver, took on TikTok on Monday, showing us what is the anti-sex bed in his room looks like. He was recording in his room in the village, showing off his bed. He said, "This is cardboard, and you can see it's like a box." And when they show the audience, right, looks like a piece of cardboard, folded into a box. But instead of a box, it is a bed. Then he showed us there's a mattress on top of the cardboard bed, and there's a blue comforter printed with a nice Paris 24 logo on it. And then he jumped on the bed and stomped on it, and the mattress storm on the mattress to show us that is actually very a solid bed. Other Olympians also tested the anti-sex bed on their TikToks. Irish gymnast Reese McClanagan and Australian tennis player Daria Savo and Alan Perez also showed how strong the bed is on TikTok. So anti-sex bed make their first debut during the 2021 Tokyo Olympics. At that time, those beds received some mixed reviews from some athletes. Team USA runner Paul Chilimode posted on social media said the bed only be able to withstand the weight on a single person to avoid situation beyond sport, which we all know why they call anti-sex bed, you know. And beside the sex bed this year, Paralympics organizers are providing 300,000 condoms for athletes staying in the Olympic Village during the Summer Games. So there's a lot of protection running around. So speaking of the anti-sex bed, Grindr have disabled their location service features in the Olympic Village radius. Grindr posted on their blogs and explained the reason they disabled the location features is to protect LGBTQ plus athletes from being outed or expose themselves from the app. Because there are some countries still illegal for being gay or queer, and Grindr said they want to take an extra step to protect the LGBTQ community. So that's what they did. And we can move on to the main events. This year, Paris did an
Okay, so outside of the anti-sex bed, the Olympic athletes also received gift bags. Now, in the gift bag came like some pamphlets and I think a welcome letter and some bottles, but it also came with the Samsung Galaxy Flip 6. So that thing's like 26K, you know, in South African rands. That's a wonderful, extravagant, good gift.
no. Why they need a phone?
Because they are Olympians, my guy. They are walking legends.
That's the thing. If you have reputation, you get free stuff. If you are poor and no reputation, you get nothing. Now we move to the main events, and this year Paris did a different presentation for the Olympic ceremony. Normally, you see a presentation showing off the present country's historical presentation first. And then you will see all the athletes from different countries walk to the stadium. But this year, Paris did it differently. We saw all the athletes coming out not by marching into the stadium on foot, but they all stay on the boat and waving at the people at the Seine River. And between the boat ride, we also saw some dancer and some theatrical performance took place along the route. So you get like some countries' athletes come out and then you move to the entertainment session and go back to the athletes. So kind of like in between. So I think they're trying to make people not to feel too bored about the whole thing. I like it that way. I mean, I like it. It's better than one whole boring session. You know?
Yeah, it's a bit more of like a celebration parade type thing. It's cool.
Exactly. So we saw Lady Gaga grand kickoff in the opening ceremony. She was wearing a black leotard with black opera gloves and a nice black headpiece on her hair. All her dancers were holding a pair of pink pom-pom and dance around her. She delivered her own rendition of René Sixi, Chaumet, Montu en Blanche, and also joining her was Celine Dion. She made a stunning return since December 2022 when she announced she wanted to take a break and focus on her health after revealing she was struggling with the stiff person syndromes and couldn't sing the way she used to. But during the opening ceremony, Celine was standing at the Eiffel Tower in the pouring rain and sing Inner Namor by Edith Prick. She was wearing a stunning white gown with tassels and delivered a clean look during the performance. For me, that performance was stunning. Like, we kind of hear what she'd been through, right? But when she stood there and sang that song, you don't notice any stiff, what do you call the stiff syndromes?
Yeah, I know. She was remarkable. It was really good.
She was so stunning. And yeah, Celine Dion has a documentary on Amazon Prime Video. It's called I Am Celine Dion, and it became Prime Video's all-time most popular documentary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I would check it out because it sounds very interesting. And aside from the Paris Olympic Games, San Diego Comic Con also happening during the week. And in the events, the boys panel revealed Jensen Ackles will be a regular in season 5, The Boys. Season 5 currently is being written and it will have 8 episodes coming in 2026. And we all know that's the Boys spin-off. It's called Gen V. And season 2 currently is filming and it will come out in 2025. And these are 2 surprises revealed for fans at Comic-Con. The Boys universe is expanding, and you are a big fan of The Boys, right?
Yeah, no, I love The Boys. I've been watching it. I finished the season 4 now. So yeah, well,
There,
obviously there's gonna be this finale. So that's gonna be crazy. I hope.
that's what I hope too. And there will be The Boys prequel called The Boys Vault Rising. It is a prequel set in 1950, and Jensen Ackles and Aya Cash is the main stars in that upcoming series. So I will look forward for that. I don't know how Jensen Ackles will be in season 5 as a regular, but later on he will go back to the prequel, which set in 1950. So do you know how that works? The age gap is quite a big difference.
Yeah, so Soldier Boy happened like a long time ago. Soldier Boy was like the strongest hero of that time. Not to spoil anything, but for the boys, but obviously he goes out of the picture, and eventually their shining boy is Homelander. Yeah, so it's kind of like Captain America, where he's in the war and then he's disappears and comes back later.
Yeah, that's what I want to ask. Is he gonna age like Captain America, which is he always looks handsome in the show and never age? Does it happen to Jensen Ackles' character as well?
I mean, basically, he looks the same. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, that's how they keep watching. And there's another one called The Boys Mexico. They mentioned in SDCC. They didn't tell us much about the details because the script is not written yet. But we know Diego Luna and Gal Garcia Bernal are the producer of the show. So I will be looking forward for that one as well. Diego Luna also in Havana Nights, the second. But I really like Diego Luna, so I will be looking forward for that. And the other big reveal during the SDCC is Deadpool and Wolverine. They created a lot of buzz in this couple of weeks, actually. On Thursday, July 25th at Hall H, Kevin Feige, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, and director co-writer Sean Levy did a brief conversation at the panel. Then, in front of the crowd of 6,500 fans, Leslie Uggams, in character as Blind AI, appear on the screen and announce they are giving fans a surprise screening for the whole Deadpool and Wolverine movie. And there's an even bigger surprise after the movie. Yeah, I think people kind of expect they're gonna do a screening at the Comic Con. So for some people may not be surprised, but for some people it is a surprise for them. And there's an even bigger surprise after the movie was shown. So the following are gonna be a spoilers. So if you don't want to hear the spoilers, you please skip ahead for like 30 to 40 seconds. And poor Allizé gonna hear the spoilers with me.
Oh no! Okay, skip ahead 1 minute.
Yeah. So after the movies showing, they brought out all the big cameo actors in the movie, which included Daphne King, who plays X-23, aka Laura, Jennifer Garner, who played Elektra, Channing Tatum, who plays Gambit, Wesley Snipes, who played Blade, and Chris Evans, who played Johnny Storm. And yeah, they all appear on the stage after the movie was shown. So yeah, these are all the cameo you will expect to see during the Wolverine, Deadpool and Wolverine movie. So they told fans to head over outside at the Petco Park, and they give fans a fantastic drone shows for celebrating the movie. The drone show was really phenomenal. It shows a giant Wolverine in the sky with his claws coming out, and Deadpool's giant head appearing in the sky as well. And they also tease fans with a big Galactus head formed by drones, and then the Fantastic Four logo appeared, which signals fans that the Fantastic Four movie just headed for MCU for production. So I'm looking forward for that as well. And that's the entertainment news for me.
Alright, so there's a bunch of new Nintendo games coming out. So starting off, there's gonna be Star Wars Bounty Hunter on August 1st. Thank goodness you're here, also on August 1st. World of Goo 2, which will be on August 2nd. Cat Quest 3, which will be on August 8th. That time I got reincarnated as a slime. Isekai Chronicles, which is also August 8th. Steam World Heist 2, August 8th. Emio, The Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club, August 29th. Gundam Breaker 4, that's August 29th as well. Oh, and 7 Days to Die 1.0 is now available on Steam. There will also be a One Piece Odyssey Deluxe Edition on Nintendo Switch released on the 25th of July, so that should be out already. Bethesda Game Studios will be known for being the first major studio in the US to unionize across all its teams. Okay, on the 1st of August, the Nintendo game Taiko no Tatsujin Rhythm Festival is getting a new DLC in collaboration with the 25th anniversary of One Piece the anime. When it comes to mobile gaming, the Mortal Kombat Onslaught is shutting down after less than a year. The game will be pulled off of the app stores, and you won't be able to make in-app purchases anymore within the next few weeks. There's going to be a brand new Xbox controller design, which is going to be gold with some splashes of pink paint. It actually looks quite nice. And then there's the 2024 Pokemon World Championships merchandise has been revealed. So there's some bags, there's going to be some goggles, there's going to be some six-sided dice and coins, all themed towards the 2024 Pokemon World Championships. Also, Helldivers 2 is getting a brand new patch. This is the Escalation of Freedom. It is going to be on the 6th of August. It is completely based on the user feedback. So there's going to be a brand new difficulty mode, which is CR10. There are going to be new enemies, some coming from the first game, and new mission types. In other news, Assassin's Creed Shadows teams had to apologize to Japanese fans for marketing that has caused concern. This revolves a This involves a certain historical flag that was not historically accurate and will do better in the future. Humble Games announces restructuring of operations amid layoffs. So there were quite big layoffs, and they have admitted that this has put strain on the team that is left, and obviously has affected quite a few people. With some good news on the horizon, China is finally getting the new Pokemon Snap that the rest of the world has had. So they're going to be enjoying taking pictures of some really good looking renderings of some Pokemon. And this is going to be the first Pokemon game outside of Pokemon Unite that has made its appearance in China since in the last 24 years. There is going to be a collector's edition and a deluxe edition for SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos. This is limited to 1,000 copies for the Switch and PS4 and includes a copy of the game, reversible cover, an official Neo Geo case, 64-page art book, 3 lithographs, an original soundtrack, and digifile. The deluxe edition is going to have a steel case, which is quite nice, and all in all, it's looking like a pretty good game. Okay, with some rumors, the new Multiverses data mine suggests future content around Barbie, Harry Potter, and more. The new PS5 beta rolls out tomorrow with personalized 3D audio profiles and new remote play settings. With the saddest news of the week in terms of gaming, Pokemon Unite, my love and joy, is making changes to their membership. In South African rands, that cost us 185 rand. In the States, in the US, that's gonna cost you like $9.99, something like that. Um, they are removing the monthly skin and they are giving you 10 free energy exchange pools. That's what it sounds like. And the monthly gems that you are getting, that's going from 40 gems a day to 30 gems. So in a month, you can get a total of 900 gems instead of the 1,200 gems you would have gotten. You are also no longer getting rank protection cards, which isn't the worst thing. You don't need them, but yeah, it's good to have, and it's a net loss. Essentially, this is the worst thing they could have done for the game. Yeah, no. Is it even worth having now? All right, and that does it for the gaming news. Now, moving on, we'll be warping over to our Fallout zone, where we have our very first guest. This is the Fallout zone. Meet Njabulo Moratioa, or NJ. So NJ, let us know. Tell us a little about yourself.
Not really much to tell. Artist, creator. I have been a fan of the Fallout franchise since Fallout 3. And I'm ready to get grinding on what Fallout is and how Fallout works.
So what do you do for fun then?
I mess around with the Fallout INI files and how to modify Fallout. That's what I do for fun. I change Fallout 4, specifically Fallout 4. Fallout New Vegas is a bit technically different, because it's based on a different engine.
Can I tell you something?
Hit me.
As we speaking out right now, today we recording this on July 25th, right? As we speaking right now, Fallout 4 as the expansion came out just today is the Fallout London. Just came out today. So people can actually play Fallout London right now. The requirement for installing the Fallout London is for you to own Fallout 4 and all its DLC, or own the Game of the Year edition on GOG or Steam. But if you own the game on Steam, it requires you to downgrade 404 to the previous next-gen release of the game, which is the version 1.10.163.0. They said 404 high-resolution texture pack is not a requirement. So yeah, if you have 404, you can claim the 4 London expansion as today.
That sounds very interesting, and I am so hype about that. Like that, because I have Fallout 4 1.10.9, so I'm that sounds like with all of the expansions, I have all of the expansions. I am ready to jam to that. That sounds too good. That sounds too good to be true. I don't want to believe it.
No, it is out today. I can send you the link. And you know, the developers at the Team Fallen has been developing the mob since 2019, and the expansion just finished and pushed it out today. So it's been a while.
Just to give you a history on the Fallout games, first, the first Fallout game came out in 1997, developed by Interplay Inc. And Black Isle Studios, or essentially published by Interplay Inc. Fallout 2 then released in 1998, same developers, it's Black Isle Studios. And then Fallout 3 was finally developed by Bethesda Game Studios in 2000. Right after Fallout 3 came Fallout New Vegas, which was developed by Obsidian Entertainment in 2011. Fallout 4 was then developed by Bethesda because they took up the main game titles. That was in 2015.
For the group people at home who don't know what Fallout is, Fallout as a franchise is a post-apocalyptic world where people rebuilt after nuclear warheads were dropped. But there's a question about why that happened in the first place. Why did the bombs get dropped originally? And I've wanted to talk about it so much. I do need to explain something that Allizé missed. Fallout was originally a tabletop RPG. Yeah, that's where it started. Before we even get to Fallout 1, it was originally a tabletop game. Then it got adapted into a video game. And then after that, yes, fine, we do get Fallout 1, Fallout 2, and then Fallout 3. And Fallout 3 is complicated in itself because Fallout 3 changed so much. Because Fallout 3 was the first time that the video game became a first-person shooter, and it was weird for so many people who knew what Fallout was. Fallout 3 is like, it's a shooting game.
I want to ask, is the story between the game and the TV show related?
Let's talk about the franchise show.
Okay, so to explain the story of Fallout, this show, Fallout follows three characters: Lucy, Maximus, and the ghoul, who is Cooper Howard. Covers the trifecta of how you can experience this world. You could have been part of a military, which is known as the Brothers of Steel, like Maximus. You could have been someone who was highly irradiated and survived from before the mushroom bombs, like the ghoul. Or you could be someone who was in one of these experiment vaults, like Lucy. But to be fair, a control version of her experiment.
Lady 33, Lucy. Lucy has busted ass stats because her intelligence is very high, but her charisma is very low. She has, when watching the show, she fails every charisma check. She does not know how to talk to anyone. in the wasteland at all. At all. But she does know how to read. She does know how to read them. But she fails at talking to them. Her charisma is mid or low. But I would give her a very high intelligence, especially because her first weapon, the first weapon she uses, is actually a syringa adaptation called the tranquilizer gun, and she's very good at that. But that's a medical weapon, and she's very careful to not kill. But there was one scene where she just stepped up, and it was insane. It was when Maximus was stuck in the power armor suit after he got his power core taken out of the suit while he was stuck in there. So he just got trapped, and he was stuck, yelling, hoping for someone to find him, and Lucy came. And Lucy just exterminated all of the rad roaches that were there. She killed 3 rad roaches, found him, got him out of the suit.
I have a question because we saw Howard Cooper as a girl, and it was in the market scenes, right? And then when he entered the market, everyone's scared of him. I don't know what he did to. I don't know what he did to the people before this happened, but everyone was scared of him. I mean, which is true because he showed a lot of power in that scenes, right? But yeah, how do people know he's like super stringy and stuff like that, or what he did before in the market? Like, did the game explain to that?
My idea is that either they're all just scared of ghouls, because typically ghouls, or is that they've heard of this hat-wearing ghoul who's been around for 100 years, thought he's been gone for 30 years now, and he just showed up in front of them.
Yeah. Oh, that is true, eh? That is so true. So he got dragged from the ground, but how did that affected the village, the market then?
By killing people, medicine for 100 years. Yes, he established what a bounty hunter was. That's what I think.
How the is the ghoul keeping his body moving? There's so many different scenes where he's just doing way too much. And then I kind of ran his stats and I realized, oh, he's kind of a problem. He has busted stats. And it's like, I did kind of partially forget this is a show based on a video game. I ran through playing Fallout Shelter because yes, there's a mobile game where they did this kind of promotional, and then this promo we ended up getting some of the characters, so I could see some of their stat sheets, which was wild. Oh yeah, this the ghoul is insane. His stats are crazy. 7 in strength. Which, I'm sorry, why? Why is he so strong? 6 in perception, which I'm not mad about. Kinda makes sense. When you see the way he can flip a pistol, it's like, that kinda checks out. That kinda checks out. Like, for someone who's been modding Fallout, it's like, that kinda makes sense. Someone who can use a pistol the way that he does, it's like, yeah, no, that man is dangerous with a pistol.
I want to ask: is Howard Cooper as a girl is a nice person? Because it seems like he's a nice person in heart, right?
Centrally, yeah, he is. Centrally. He wants to do good things. It's just he's been around for too long. So he's kind of tired. He's tired of the world he exists in.
Yeah, it's a combination of being tired and the fact that this is a land of no rules. He played a cowboy and in acting, and now he's forced to live in that world where you have to say there's no rules.
Because for me, is he is angry. He shows anger is because of he actually know the truth how this all started. That's how I see it. Because his wife, he found out his wife is actually one of the person who make the whole catastrophe happen, right? Yeah, and it's all started by his wife Bob, who got hired from Vortec, and
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing from that show for me is the confirmation that it's not that they knew the bombs were going to drop and not that they wanted the bombs to drop. They dropped the damn bombs themselves.
but you know who sees that from the beginning is Lee Modewa. She's the only one sees them from the beginning in the show. Her name I think is Miss Williams before the Voltec happened. And remember in the show, she told Cooper Howard, what's happening with his wife, what Voltec can do, and stuff like that. She's the one pointed that out since the beginning, which is a very interesting character for me in the show because we thought she's a bad person at the beginning of the show because her gang killed everyone at the Voltec, not everyone, but most of the people in Voltec and stuff like that, and we didn't know why she does that. That's why we kind of aiming her as a bad person, but at the end, we see differently about this character.
I do like the ghoul. I'm the ghoul is my favorite character, if I'm being honest. Howard and all of his complexities explain why we play Fallout in the first place. Howard saw the world before it ended. Howard knows. He knows how we play the game, why we play the game. The truth is, we don't play the game to have fun. We play the game to remember the people we lost. It's suffering. All of it is just pain. It's pain from start to bottom and it does not end.
All right, and that's all the time we have for today. Talking about Fallout for a whole lot of time. But thank you so much for joining us in Njabulo. And yeah, thanks. It was great to have you.
Guys, like for real. I've sincerely enjoyed this entire conversation. Y'all are fun. Y'all are fun. Y'all are a vibe.
And warping right back. That was fun.
So newcomers, the first one is Deadpool and Wolverine hit theater on July 26th in U.S. domestic box office received more than 38.5 million earnings, which is the biggest number of an R-rated film ever, and also it surpassed 200 million global office. So that's quite a lot. A new series, The Penguin, is coming out as on small screen. Penguin is from the Robert Pattinson period of the Batman movie. It came out on March 2022. Colin Farrell is returning as Oz Cobblepot. The lead writer and showrunner Laurent Lafon told us The Penguin is a rise to power story of Oz. Before the actor Colin Farrell said Oz's backstory will play a big part in this TV series. We will also see Oz in his childhood to his current relationship with his mentally disturbed mother, Frances Cobb, who played by Deirdre O'Connell. Matt Reeves, the director and writer for The Batman, and his co-producer partner Dylan Clark also mentioned there's another television exploration. They are looking at the entire world as related to who Batman is. The antagonists around them, all the crimes that has to be navigated in the city, and trying to figure out where are the areas that are best to explore. So we will wait to see that happen. The Penguin is an HBO original series, will be premiered on September in HBO and Max. The Masked Singer season 12 just released a teaser. In the teaser, we see a private ship, a dragonfly, a featherbird, colorful featherbird, a cactus, a pink rabbit, and some other costumes during the teaser. We can also see Jenny McCauley, Wahlberg, Ken Jeong, Robin Thicke, and Rita Ora will return to the panel of judges. Nick Cannon will also come back as a host as well. Masked Singer premiere on Wednesday, September 25th on Fox. Netflix Bioshock film is still in work but is restructuring with the shift of leadership. Producer Roy Lee shared the project will be a more personal film, so it will delay a little bit for the production. Gundam Requiem for Vengeance trailer is out. Release date set on October 17 this year on Netflix. There's an exclusive clip from Watchmen Chapter 1 is out. The first part of two-part features animation film. It will be out on digital on August 13. 4K will be out in August 27. Part 2 will come out later this year. And The Law of the Ring of Power Season 2 is also out, so check this out. During the SCCC, we got to see the first trailer of the live-action Like a Dragon Yakuza series. It is a role-playing video game, and it is on sale now on Freeman Gaming. The live-action show will be released on October 24th on Prime Video. We got another surprise announcement just happened today. Some of you may heard of the Original Sins, which is a Dexter spin-off called Dexter Original Sins. Who is in it? That included Patrick Gibson as Dexter Morgan, Christian Slater as Harry Morgan, Raina Wilson as Bobby Watts, and Christina Melian as Maria Lagunita. I cannot pronounce that name, so sorry in advance. James Martinez as Angels Matista, and Alex Shimizu as Vince Masuka. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tanya, and Patrick Dempsey as Aaron Spencer. So I'm kind of happy to see Sarah Michelle Gellar will come back on TV, and that's the big news for me. During SDCC, they dropped an opening sequence. We can see Michael C. Hall will return to navigate as Dexter Inner Voice. Dexter Original Sin is coming out in Paramount Plus with Showtime plan only. And that's not it. Clay Phillips, who's executive producer for the original Dexter and the Dexter Original Sin, also announced there's another show from Dexter Universe will be in production in this coming January. It is called Dexter Restoration, and Michael C. Hall will be the star of the show, so we will see him coming back as Dexter, and I cannot wait for that to happen.
Okay, starting us off, we have Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, a 7-star Dondozo will be debuting this week with the Water Terra type. Its hidden ability, Water Veil, will prevent you from being burned. Then there's a Mega Lucario raid debut in Pokemon Go in its Ultra Unlock Raid Day on the 27th. And from Metal State, they'll be hosting a Garena Free Fire Battle Royale on the 30th of July. And then on the 31st, they will be hosting an EAFC 24 Next Gen Cup. On the 1st of August, Metal State will have a Fortnite Battle Royale Duos tournament. Then from ACGL, they'll be hosting Fortnite tournaments on the 30th of July, a 1v1 kill race. On the 1st of August, they'll be featuring Fortnite again with a no-build kill race for duos. And on the 4th of August, there'll also be a Fortnite Solos custom battle royale. Jacky, let's hit them with a rapid fire. Starting off, there's Call of Juarez Gunslinger. That's on Xbox One and Xbox 360 at $2.99. And in South Africa, that will be 31 Rand 89 cents in the Xbox store. Okay, then we've got Lego Brick Tales is $9.89 or 57 Rand 75 cents on Steam. There's Tetris Effect Connected on Xbox One and Xbox X for US $19.99 and South African rands 404 Rand 91 cents via the Xbox store. Death Roads Tournament is $7.49 and 77 Rand 50 cents on Steam. The Quarry is 75% off, making it $14.99 and 267 Rand 25 cents on Steam. Dead by Daylight 4 is 60% off, making it $7.99 and 77 Rand 5 cents on Steam. With PSN Plus, the summer sale gets you up to 75% off. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare is going to be $38.49 or 758 Rand 45 cents. Elden Ring on PS4 and PS5 is going to be $41.99 and 804 Rand 30 cents. Then we've got Hogwarts Legacy on the PS5 version, which is going to be $27.99 or 519 Rand 60 cents. And on PS4, it's going to be $23.99 and $479.
So, okay. On July 24th, you can claim the following games for free on Steam. There are Invention 5, Amber Point, Adrenaline Injection, Monterey, Primal Sliding, and DNA. And Fist Fought in Shadow Torch free on Epic Games. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 coming to Game Pass on July 24th on console, PC, and Ultimate. Cult of the Lamb DLC Unholy Alliances is dropping on August 12th. Darth Maul, Padme Amidala, Yoda, and R2-D2 costume will be landing in the Fall Guys store on July 30th. Nintendo World Championship NES Edition icons will be added on Switch it's already added. Nintendo World Championship NES Edition icons is added to Switch Online so you can claim it. Deadpool and Wolverine skin in Fortnite shop right now. Gold Diamond Fluffy Funko Pop will be released on Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Time. You can go to fluffyexclusive.fluffyguy.com to buy it. And that's the end of the rapid fire session.
All right. And that was our second episode in Whole Life History. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for sticking around so far. To close off, just to talk about things, next week we have plans to interview Tsepo Ramalepe from the Corner Flag YouTube channel and talk about some sports games and some sports.
And we have set up our podcast in various channels you can listen to. For example, you can listen to our podcast in iHeartRadio. You can listen on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to
everywhere but YouTube.
Everywhere but YouTube. You can just go to wherever you listen to podcasts, just search for Welcome to Warp Zone and you can find us. And I think that's it for this week's episode, right?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Jacky, I've had a super time. And thank you for being my friend.
Thank you for being my friend. Have a good day, guys.